Dear Mr. Football, what do a soccer coach, a softball coach, a men's golf coach, 2 tennis coaches, an equipment manager, a graphic designer, a play-by-play announcer and a women's tennis coach have in common? All of those UA athletic department employees distributed Twitter messages this week imploring fans and friends to attend the UCLA-Arizona football game. Remember, even though Arizona's prolific basketball program produced revenues of $21.7 million a year ago, it is football at $41.4 million that spins the UA payroll. Dear Mr. Football, how much can one unimaginable performance by QB Khalil Tate mean at the box office? Arizona drew a mere 36,651 for its last home game against then 24th-ranked Utah. It's not unreasonable to think Tate, who was more successful than Colorado's Ralphie the Buffalo at chewing up turf last week, and a potential revival of a not-so-newsworthy football program, will draw 50,000 against UCLA. If so, it will be Arizona's greatest jump from one Pac-12 home game to the next since admission to the league. Arizona has only increased 10,000 fans from one home conference game to the next 4 times. All of those had a clear provocation gain of 13,425 in 1982 from Oregon State, 35,599, to Washington, 48,984. Washington arrived ranked number 1. Gain of 11,576 in 1992 from Washington State, 39,112, to UCLA, 50,708. The local debut of the Desert Swarm defense in Tucson a week after an epic 8-7 finish, a loss at number 1 Miami. Gain of 11,360 in 2009 from Oregon State, 42,119, to Stanford, a 53,479. The first home game as a starting QB by Nick Foles, and the home debut of Sonny Dykes' air raid offense, after Foles threw for 638 yards and 5 touchdowns at OSU and Washington. Gain of 10,159 in 2014 from Cal, 45,595, to USC, 56,754. 9 days after Arizona shocked number 1 Oregon at Autzen Stadium, the 5-0 Wildcats jumped to number 10 in the AP poll. Dear Mr. Football, what is Tate likely to do for an encore? For more than 60 years, Arizona's top individual offensive performance was probably Art Lupino's 228-yard, 5-touchdown performance at New Mexico State in 1954. Incredibly, Lupino carried the ball just 6 times in that game. Much like Tate, the Lupino of 54 was a virtual unknown sophomore, a surfer dude from La Jolla, California who arrived at Arizona hoping to play baseball and got his chance because of an injury to someone else. Lupino would lead the NCAA in rushing in 54 and 55. A week later, at Utah, Lupino returned the opening kickoff 93 yards for a touchdown and gained 121 rushing yards, scored 4 touchdowns, and didn't play the last 25 minutes as Arizona rolled to an easy 54-20 win. That's an encore with a capital E. Dear Mr. Football, does UCLA coach Jim Mora know anything about stopping a run-first QB like Tate? As head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, 2004-06, Mora coached the in his prime Michael Vick, who from age 24 to 26 rushed for 2,538 yards in the NFL, a place where running quarterbacks are as rare as lobster in the Relator River. Vick's mobility, not his passing, made it all work. He was just a 56% career NFL passer, and he threw 38 interceptions in 3 years with Mora. When Vick was incarcerated and missed the 2007 and 2008 seasons, Mora moved on and became head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. His quarterback in Seattle was 34-year-old Matt Hasselbeck, who was about as mobile as a statue. Mora was fired after one 5-11 season. Since Vick's prime, Mora, whose angry man sideline demeanor often makes you wonder Why anyone would want to play for the Bruins has done less with more than any coach in Pac-12 football since Tyrone Willingham, who was 11-37 at Washington from 2005 to 08.